Welcome back to Remnant Lunar Archon session 28?
Correct.
Question mark?
Yes.
Yay!
Welcome back to Cowgirl Studios
Here
Remnant
we are. We're
on
doing the
session.
thing.
We are doing the thing, playing the D&D. After a couple weeks of delays, we are back. Are here. Be a shorter lesson. Lesson? Yes. Well, welcome. I am Professor Kirigor.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Young Metronome.
What? You know what? I don't need to know. I'm sure it's some YouTuber. But yes, hopefully it won't be a long session, but it'll be a session before we then have to take at least one more week off while down. But we have to start somewhere. We have to keep going sometime. So,
Next steps.
previously, where did we start last time? Because I know stuff that happened, but I don't remember when it began. I feel like, okay, I think last time the party did shopping. They bought the things they wanted from Walter, including a portable hole. That was the big one. Everyone wanted the portable hole, so they all pitched in and got that. Also, a few other small things. Gambit was the only one who decided he wanted a magic item, like a magic weapon. So he did that. The party then looked around for different warrants, looked at different warrants of different people, realized good old Aliath Tussock, also known as Gambit, is wanted. Where did I put? I think I made an item. I think I made it an item. Let's see. Where did I put the? All right. There you go. The warrant dossier. Yep, Aliath Tussock Gambit is wanted for murder, espionage, and evading arrest, dead or alive, for 5,000 gold. So they took a note of that. They also took a note of the drug thing, about a drug called Quill that's on the market. That the producers or smugglers of that drug are wanted, preferably alive, as it's assumed that all of these are alive unless otherwise stated. The only otherwise stated is Aliath, who is wanted dead or alive, taken to... heck, why am I forgetting the names of my cities? Where's my map of the... You can tell it's been a while since we've played, because I'm getting exact details of stuff. But I want to look up that. The party saw and decided they were going to go after something called the Farewell Trope. I think it's Troop.
Troop.
Who was wanted for minor theft, public endangerment, and child exploitation. They saw the child exploitation and assumed the worst, then find out that it was not the worst, just that basically these are street performers that seem to be using children to pickpocket strangers while they perform. The party found them relatively easily, finding that they are 3 adults and 4 children, deciding to go in a slightly stealthier, subterfuge way. Garand invited/hired the Farewell Troop to come to the warehouse that they'd found while they were looking for the missing magic item they got back for Walter. They ended up going back to the place, purchasing a few different party supplies, and we last left off as they were all, before we left off, Thicket and I believe Doug stalked the Farewell Troop back to their tent, listened to them talk for a few minutes about the kids and anything that might have happened on that end. I'll leave that for those that were there notes. The party, then as we left off, most of the party was back at Doodly-Doo. They were back at Doodly-Doo, first of the night. Abby, you've got background noise. They most of the party is at the warehouse setting things up, and Garand went to, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, went to go fetch Rusty. As they wanted her there for some reason.
Yeah, the plan was to talk to her and see if she's interested in figuring out some other alternative for this makeshift family.
All right. In that case, it is 7 p.m. the 22nd of March, Wednesday. Where we begin. Garand, you find yourself walking along the streets. Where are you heading to? Are you heading to the Darvishi Courier's office, or do you have somewhere else you're
If it's nighttime, so I don't. She never told us where she lived or whatever. So, I'm gonna have to try to go to the couriers and see if she's still there, or if I can find directions from there.
All right, so you are heading to the Couriers then. You step into the Couriers and do see a different actually, no, it would not be different. It would be the same secretary that you saw earlier. The woman at the front. There is no one else there that you can tell at the moment. She looks up at you with a lamp nearby. She's writing down something. Looks up. Was it Garand?
Yes, hello, Mum. Trying to see if we can maybe talk with the missus again. We have something that she may be of interest, have an interest in. So, is she available this evening? Is she gone home? Is she opposed to me coming to visit her temporarily?
No, I don't think she'd mind at all. As she reaches over and pulls a note from the side, and moves over to hand it to you.
Right.
She thought you might come by sometime. No, you got here just in time. I'm about to lock up. That address, you should be able to find.
Oh. Lucky me then. Well, thank you, ma'am. Have a lovely evening, and I hope your day is even better tomorrow.
I hope so too. Enjoy yourself.
When she says I hope so too, he's like, never heard that response. He's just like walking, he's all confused.
Alright, you find that the address does lead you a few streets over toward the eastern side of town. A few streets away from the inn that you'd actually been to before. And you approach a fairly simple looking one-story building. Seems to have a pretty sizable fence around the outside with various bits of metal machinery. You see a couple of actually broken down carts off to the side, one literally stacked on top of another, and some kind of shed that you can barely see spanning over part of the backyard. A light lit inside.
If there looks to be a door, then I'll knock on that. If not, then I will call out, depending on where the light's coming from and the layout of how it looks.
There is a front door.
All right, then yeah, I'll knock loudly enough to, in case she's occupied, that she'll hopefully hear it, but not so like, I'm the police, come to the door right now, kind of thing.
You're not banging on the door. You're properly knocking.
Correct.
A few moments go by.
I'd be knocking slightly louder than the average.
That's fair. A few moments go by and you hear the sound of metal. It's hard to say, hitting against something else. Maybe a piece of wood. A clunk. Hear a few steps. Hello? You hear a call from the other side of the door.
Yes, I'm looking for the headmisses of the Darvishi Carriers. My name is Garand, and I would like to
the door opens.
Speak with her if she's available.
Garand, you can introduce. You don't have to call me the missus. You know who I am.
Right, but I don't know
the door and says this.
all of your covers.
Oh, fair. For the most part, if someone's in town, they probably already know who I am. Thanks for making sure you're discreet, though. as you do see as she opens the door. She is in the same normal outfit she has, but she is wearing a fairly large leather apron over her. Goggles are actually pulled down over her eyes. You can see holding loosely in her left hand is a screwdriver, and you see where with her right arm, most of it's missing. There is a effectively brace up in her upper right bicep, with a bandage over it, the kind of pink cloth covering it, and you see she is not currently wearing the metallic arm. Hey, what can I do for you? Admit I'm a little surprised you came by. You and your friends didn't seem to
It's odd
taken
because
with
this. It's odd that you are surprised because you left a note thinking I would. So clearly, there's something else. But regardless, no. I personally believe that you were willing to handle things in a way that didn't necessarily immediately benefit you, and that shows character. So, regardless of whatever else there may or may not be, I still have respect for you. So, to that end, actually, is why I'm here. Are you aware of the Farewell Troop?
I have an idea of that, as you had seen when you mentioned her leaving a note. You couldn't see it super well, but you saw her tail straighten out behind her and her ears shift to the side, almost listening out closely, before seeming to relax, and her tail begins to move again as you continue talking. Yes, I've seen a bit of them here and there. Actually, quite good performance, honestly.
Yeah, they're not bad. But it turns out that they are bad.
Oh dear.
So they're using their children to pickpocket and make a little bit of side extra coin. Now, here's the situation. You see, they're kind of like a family of sorts, and there seems to be a sort of disagreement about continuing in this lifestyle with
Tilts her head.
the children, and so this is like, it's very similar to a more recent situation where someone put themselves into a situation that maybe they didn't have to. So I don't know the best way about this. I've never run a city, for example, but I do believe that there needs to be some sort of recompense, because they need to learn justice, and the children need to learn that, crime doesn't really pay in the long run. But I don't want it to go poorly. Like, I don't want the children hurt, and I don't want the family split up, because they've become that. So,
Would you like
my
a glass
best
of
guess
water?
would be something along the. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Do I sound parched? No.
You've been going on a minute, and I need to. You need to breathe. Would you like to sit down? Seems like you've got a lot to explain.
Oh, no. This is my profession. No. This is my profession. This is like my no. See, I grew up and I had to like make a lot of double entendres and a lot of double speak and so forth to get myself and my family out of trouble, because I was really good at finding myself in trouble.
I can relate to
anyway.
that.
So yeah. So my best thoughts are that maybe they can work on behalf of the city, performing for for free to effectively pay off, and it's like something that's more like behind the scenes, almost say a probationary type situation. I'm not getting any sort of ill intent, and my friends and I, we have learned or ascertained information that makes us believe that they're not trying to be malicious. They're not, so I'm just not sure the best way to go about this. Now, we do have a plan to effectively entrap them, to make them admit it, and to hopefully get them to work on a better path going forward. And I just wanted to include you to let you know what our plans are, and if you had something, then maybe we could go with that. because as of right now, we're not completely sure how we're going to finish it. We've got the start, we've got kind of the middle. It's the end that's really still murky for us.
Sounds like a complicated situation. Make sure I understand what you're talking about. You want to help them, give them mercy, not just treat them like common thieves, but make sure they understand that what they did was wrong. For the children, if not for the adults' edification as well.
Perfect.
And to the side, what makes you think I have a good idea of how to deal with this?
Well, anyone that can run a city enough to keep it standing must have an idea too about a thing or two.
You flatter me. Huh. You've shown yourselves to be fair, have a good head and shoulders. What do you think you should do about it? It's the right decision.
Well, again, so I don't want to abscond with them, and I don't think that they need to flee, because that seems hollow. But if they were to work it off, for example, we turn them in, we do not take the reward money. Instead, the reward money goes right back to the hands of people who have filed reports about them. And then they are working off that reward money, as well as a little bit extra to show that they truly do want to make it right in the town. I just don't know if that's feasible. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't,
Is this something you'd like for me to come with you to do for this last half of your plan you had talked about, or want my opinion and leave?
So, partially we wanted guests to make it look more lively, but also for you to,
Yes.
once the trap is sprung, yes, because we're pretending that that's a birthday party. It is really a birthday party, but it's also a pretend birthday party. It's a whole thing. But regardless, effectively, if you were there and then we sprung the trap and then you said yes, and I'm who I am, and I am accepting with this. If you want, otherwise we will just turn you in, and they will go ahead and get the reward money, and effectively putting them in that position to be like, you know what, this is a lot better of an option than we could have otherwise had. So, maybe they take you and me and us and all up on it, because again, if they truly do love their family, they truly do want to stay together, this allows them to stay together. This allows them to not have to really go to jail, and it teaches them all something, that essentially crime does not really pay. I'm a little murky with some things. I'm willing to bend some things, but there's certain lines that just shouldn't be crossed. And when it comes to taking advantage of people, that's just not right. So
She looks up to you, as she is just over a foot shorter than you. Looks up. No. Taking advantage of others is disrespectful to their humanity. Yes, I'll go along, see if I can provide any wisdom. Definitely provide authority and credence to whatever we come to. We'll grant this request. Is this a
very
fancy
appreciated.
party? Should I change, or is this more casual? I'll definitely need to get my mind back on.
Fancier. You're welcome to bring a gift if you like. Although, Cedar recently acquired this flask of endless milk, so I'm not really sure what gift would even come close to that. I think everything pales in comparison. So, who knows that she'll even be noticing what's happening? I don't know. She seems to have a milk addiction.
So it's,
if I'm being honest with you.
It's Cedar's birthday.
Oh no, Abby got so upset she left.
Abby? Abby! Ah! Oh, Abby?
Touch my milk.
Wait, what? Are you getting milk?
That timing was perfect. That timing was perfect.
Well, so I don't tend to wear dresses, but I can find something a little nicer. You want to come in and wait for a minute while I get changed, or would you like to stand out here?
I think it would be ungentlemanly of me to come in, but I will happily stand guard a while.
You're very kind, Gravon. Very sweet.
Bards have a reputation, and I aim to prove that wrong.
Oh, you definitely have. Step away from the door, leaving it slightly ajar, and step back inside, disappearing for.
I mean, little does she know that my wisdom is horrible, but
going back toward the front after a couple of minutes, you find she's wearing somewhat similar clothes to what she normally would, but whereas she normally has the almost cargo pants style mixture of shorts and leggings, you see she is wearing effectively nicer, very light blue slacks, and instead of her normal pink blouse, she has a slightly more dark red maroon colored long sleeve shirt. This purplish vest star on the front. It's not great, but it's a bit better. And you do see as she says this, stepping out into effectively you can see to be an almost living room sort of, but where you might find a coffee table is a rather large wooden table covered in various instruments. See on the middle of it is her arm. And she grabs it and places it back to where it ought to be. Pulls out the screwdriver and makes a couple of adjustments. See, one at a time. Finger, seeming to test the dexterity of them. Before then, you see the arm shift and open, and her hand straightens out before spinning around, and effectively on the picture where the pink is on her forearm stays in place, but the black in the middle spins forward, the hand sliding in between the parts on her arm as she holds what you see now is closer to a barrel of some kind of weapon. She points out, holds it to the side, pulls out a match. You see the end of this barrel glow. She holds the match nearby, and the seemingly heat or whatever it is from this barrel lights the match aflame. She shakes it out, tosses the spent match to the side. Her arm shifts back, tests out the fingers again. Lovely. Shall we? She is still wearing the goggles, but they are back on her head instead of over her eyes now.
Absolutely, you look lovely. Thank you so much
it.
for coming.
I do what I can, though I'm not the most stylish. You, on the other hand, definitely have that part down.
You should see Doug when he wears kimonos.
Oh, now I'm curious. As you make light conversation, heading back over toward the others. The others! What are you doing to set up for this party? We didn't specify exactly what, but I know y'all get party things and food. So what are y'all doing with the warehouse that you commandeered?
Well,
Cedar's taking care of the food, specifically the milk.
Milk and various forms of dairy were purchased, I assume. Perhaps even cake.
should we invite other people?
What about the nice plant lady?
We met a lady made of plants.
Oh no! She was at the plant shop. That
I thought that was a man.
Was it a man?
Was a man?
Shop in this town?
In this town, the plant shop is A Dream of Water, run by
Yeah.
Muriel de Grey. It was Keenite, I believe, that you're thinking of that has a similar herbalist type shop, but that one is run by a tiefling.
Ah, yes, I am thinking of that. Anyways, yeah, we could invite the plant lady. I don't know who else.
And while we're there, we can buy a couple of flowers to decorate.
Yeah.
What's your favorite flower, Cedar?
What's that?
What's your favorite flower?
I like gardenias. They look like
Okay.
milk.
All right. So, does anyone want to go to A Dream of Water with me and buy some flowers and plant and talk to the lady?
I will go with you.
Okay. We're going to the plant shop to buy some flowers, decorate, and invite the like 3 other people that we know in the town here.
All right, you find your way to the shop as it closes in on 7:30. I believe 9 o'clock was when you said the party was, or was it at 8?
I don't remember.
We'll say
So
9
don't
for
remember.
the time being. As you arrive, you see that A Dream of Water is locked up,
Oh, I didn't.
and
True.
most of the Emerald Plaza appears to be effectively abandoned for the night. There are still empty stands where you assume different vendors would set their shop up in the morning. But for the most part, it appears that the market has ended for the
Ticket knocks on the
Hmm.
door.
rap a couple of times on the door. How long do you wait?
Like 2 minutes?
About just over a
Mhm.
minute goes by. You're shuffling behind, and you see someone moving in the darkness, holding a candle. Actually, they
Oh
would not
no,
be
we're
holding.
asleep.
It's not that late.
They would also not be holding a candle. As you hear the lock on the door shift. And opening the door, you see in fairly relaxed clothes, these flowing pants, and a robe over them. The drow woman. Hello. It was Thicket, right? Looks down at you.
Yes. Hi. Sorry to
Hello.
bother you. I know you're closed. We're holding a birthday party for our friend, and we don't really know many people in the town, so we just wanted to know if you would like to come.
Oh,
It's kind of last minute.
yeah. Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay.
There's gonna be free milk. Can she roll with advantage?
Not for that, no.
No, dang it.
6.
I'm sorry, but I'm not terribly social. And I'm totally honest, I'm partway through a book that I'd like to get returned to a friend
Oh.
of mine by the morning.
I understand.
Sorry.
Books are good.
I
All right.
appreciate
Sorry
the
to
offer,
bother you.
but I don't.
I know you're in the middle of a book right now. But do you have like a couple of gardenias like within reach? Are you pretty closed up?
I
I'll
could
buy.
make another persuasion check.
Okay,
This one has a lower DC.
Abby.
I don't think I have you actually.
I'll
Oh.
get it. Let me grab it.
persuasion.
Swashin.
9.
My stuff is all packed up for the night. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It would take
all right.
a few minutes for me to get things out.
Yeah.
We're
I
so good
understand.
at
Is it
talking.
something that you really? If it's something that you really need, I can do it for you. It just would cost a bit extra.
No, it's all right. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Gambit does a little bow.
Thank you. Enjoy your milk.
He would take his hat off, but he rethinks it and does not.
Roman nods and close the door. You hear it. You can kind of see in the darkness her shuffling back through her.
All right. I other than the other shop dude and the Orange Sun people, I don't really know anybody, and I don't know if we want to invite those guys.
Is the puppet seller still out and about?
No.
Okay.
He would have been one of the vendors, and they're effectively all packed up.
I think you missed it, Jocelyn, but we got a body for Claude.
True.
No. I was for that.
Oh, okay.
Wait. Last I saw though, it was pretty. Last I was here, it was pretty like janky. Is it better?
It's still janky.
Or is it...
It's still the same.
Super janky.
Okay.
Slightly
Strapped him
horror
with a
game
body.
material. Not gonna lie. Right. You make your way back then?
Thicket would like to keep an eye out for wildflowers.
Looking for wildflowers in the dark.
Okay.
make a-
Gambit
Back.
would like to keep an eye out for homeless people to invite to
Make
their
a
party.
perception
No.
check with disadvantage. Both.
No,
of
wait, do we even have food? I don't want to invite homeless people if we can't feed them.
Y'all did get
We
food.
have-
We did? Okay.
Yeah. So
I would feel bad. It'd be like,
That's
come to a party,
fair.
you don't get anything.
we just need to fill out the space, you know? Make up for each one of you, for Thicket for the flowers and Gambit for the people, each make perception checks with disadvantage.
Oh.
This is starting to sound like that parable where the guy's having a banquet and all the people that RSVP'd were like, I don't want to go anymore. And so
Oh,
he just
no.
grabbed people off the street.
14
You know the one I'm talking
flowers.
about?
I know exactly which parable
Yes.
you're talking about. So 14 for flowers. You find a couple of them, but given the climate you're in and the fact you're walking through the street, there's not yet effectively enough for a small hand bouquet.
16.
For people, you actually do
Homeless
see a
people.
couple of... You walk through the same tent area you'd seen the farewell troop go through earlier, and you do see different people, some that appear to be more homeless or perhaps travelers that are effectively just minding their own business. Are you going to try and persuade people to come?
This is
Yes.
all you, Gambit.
Alright.
with promises of entertainment, milk, and maybe some cookies.
And
Cookies?
potentially, knowing how this might go, also potentially drama. So, you know.
Yes.
But whether or not you promise that to the people is a different story.
Yeah.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
Okay.
18.
Ooh.
That's pretty good. Okay. Fine.
It was a 10 plus 8.
There was a
Mhm.
10 plus 8. You rolled perfectly average for Gambit. Pretty good. Gambit's pretty persuasive. You find a total of 6 people. You find 3 people who are effectively homeless. They seem to be doing okay, but they are not going to deny the offer of food. You also find, I believe that was 4 homeless people, and then 2 people that appear to just be travelers who are confused by the offer, but are interested enough to let this be their adventure for the night in a town they're not from. You have a small entourage of 6 randoms following behind you of a couple different races, at least 2 humans and a couple of others. as you eventually get back to find about the same time as Rusty and Garand.
Did you say that Thicket did or didn't find any flowers?
A tiny bouquet.
I'd like to imagine that they're like weed-like flowers, like dandelions.
Oh yeah, they're not fancy flowers, but they are flowers.
Like a bunch of dandelions.
As y'all arrive about the same time with your small entourage, and you see Garand as the two of them with a small amount of flowers and 6 people you've never met before or seen before are approaching the warehouse. Are these other people part of your party?
They're here for the party.
Oh.
Hi, Garand.
I
I got
suppose that-
flowers.
That's certainly what they are.
I assume we'll have any, as she kind of whispers to Garand where the random people wouldn't hear. I assume a conversation with the troop would happen at the party then? I don't imagine you want to
Yeah.
deal with it in front of these people.
Right, I don't really want to, spread any issue around. So the idea is, all right, thank you for coming, and we'd like just like one more performance, one more encore before we wrap up the night, and then we'll send everyone else to go. That's not part of the inner circle, quote unquote. And then, yeah,
Cool, that works.
that's what. Anyway, yep.
As you all enter and finish getting things together, as the clock gets closer toward 8:30 with people, with the various random people talking and beginning to eat. You do see it around 8:30-ish. You do find that coming through these, stumbling through, like knocking on the door. That's the better word for it. Knocking on the door to the warehouse. Hello. Hello? Is this the right location?
Yes, come on in. You found it. Great job.
Oh. As the door opens, you do see the farewell troop come inside. The 4 kids run in and immediately begin to look for the food and go right to the desserts as the honest woman, Melissa, goes after them. No! Trying to seemingly stop them from going right to where they would get much sugar. At least not for the beginning of their meal. You see the other 2, Oscar and Carland, walk in as well, carrying some different things. Oscar looks around. Oh, I see we're a bit late to the party. I thought it was starting at 9. Is that right?
Nope. You had the right time. We just the guest came early.
Okay, wonderful. Where should we set up? Up here on this balcony area, or?
Yeah, that looks like a mighty fine stage.
Oh, perfect. As they begin to carry things up and prepare setting up a small stage, you see Carland seemingly getting together different, as you remember him being a fire dancer, getting together these different staffs, soaking them in what you assume is some kind of oil. A few minutes go by. I would like... So we're going to do a leading check system, so I would like 2 of you, or I guess we'll go ahead and do 3. People are going... 2. 2 is kind of supposed to do it. 2 people are going to assist, and then 1 person is going to give a charisma-based deception check. Who would like to lead the charisma deception, and who would like to aid?
I am bad at deception, so
I am good at deception.
I will aid.
Okay. So is it Cedar and Gambit then that are aiding in the deception?
Well, yeah, I think it's a toss-up between me and Grant.
I have a -1 for deception.
I have
Just so everyone knows.
Plus
I
one.
think
So
I have like a plus, either a plus
Yeah,
4 or
there's-
plus 8. I can't remember if
You
I
have
so
took.
a plus
effectively, what's
Plus
going to
6.
happen is one of you, either Garand or Gambit, is going to make a deception check that is going to get, depending on the other rolls, up to +2 or -2 on the roll, depending on how the other two aiding people roll on there. So who
Okay,
will be?
I'm gonna leave it up to Karan.
It's like, what's Garand's main deception?
So I have +7 as far as the dice roll goes, but there's also the
Okay.
fact that whether or not you allow me to bardically inspire, because I can't bardically inspire myself.
This
So
would be over the
there's
course
also
of the
that
parties.
possibility. So okay. Okay, so then all right, so then my 7's better than her 6.
Yeah.
Or his 6, I guess.
Yeah. All right. So is
And then,
Cedar
yeah,
or
I'll just-
Thicket aiding?
Yes.
Which one of you? One of you is gonna make. Is it
Oh, I thought.
Thicket or Cedar? Like, Cedar has a -1 deception. Thicket has a +1.
Oh, can I
Does
not
it matter?
aid since
So
Karan is leading? Oh wait, never mind.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
never
gonna be
mind.
the two
Okay.
rolls that are
It
either gonna
probably should
affect.
be you, Thicket.
Fair. So I need
Captain.
Negative is what
a
I mean.
deception from Thicket and Gambit first. We're looking to eat.
From Thicket?
Yes. First deception from Thicket and from Gambit.
Okay.
So the-
It's effectively a group check that y'all two are going to
Just-
try
Oh.
to help Garand.
Oh.
So that's a -1.
Oh.
Rolling lower than a 10, you're going to be giving a -1 to the roll. Higher than a 15, it gives a +1. If it's 10 to 15, it has no effect. Go ahead and roll for Gambit.
For context, just when I got a 1.
Yeah, I'm tempted to give a -2 for that one. That Thicket might just
That
accidentally
one.
Thicket might accidentally say to someone, "Yeah, this trap we set up. I mean, this party we set up is really nice." Alright, and then Gambit's is a flat 0, so I need Garand to roll a deception with a -1.
I am very sorry.
This is why leading checks are fun. With Garand in the lead. Oh, you're using a hero point? That's valid. So it's a total of +1 you'll be getting on. We'll bring you to +8 total. Okay. 13, not bad. As the party goes on, you are trying to seem as genuine as you can, but seem to have a hard time, each of you, interacting with the people you don't know, getting distracted by each other and by the party. For quite a bit of time, you actually see Rusty go over and start talking to the kids as they enjoy playing around. With your perception thing, you can see they definitely don't seem to be working. Like, the kids aren't doing any thieving, they're just enjoying the party. The kids don't seem to be realizing what's going on. As the random people, you actually see a couple of them leave early. The performances are perfectly fine, as, let's see, first up would be Oscar. His isn't great. He does a good job. He does about what you consider average. He does fumble with one of his cards at one point as he seems to be distracted by something. Carland, he is going to have... He does quite well with his fire dancing. Tossing around the different... Actually begins to juggle two separate... effectively stabs with flames on each end. That actually... Party seems to quite enjoy. You actually hear cheer the party goers, for as few of them as there are, do cheer at one from his dance. And then finally, as the evening begins to wind down, Melissa gets up and begins to play. Fairly softly, the flute begins to edge over the party. Everyone seems to relax. You all find yourself seemingly almost not necessarily magically. The song, as it plays, draws you to a place somewhere else. happy memories. Your missing moments, Cedar, you find yourself thinking, running the woods, your parents, dancing around, your father teaching you how to use a weapon at various points, telling you about how you need to make sure you're able to protect yourself. Around you have the smell of the ocean, fresh, despite someone might assume, you actually find it relaxing. Oddly, feel almost a hand squeeze yours, looking to the side. You don't see anyone there. Take it, you find yourself in your head wandering the forest. As Melissa begins to end her performance and the party seems to be winding down, several people have already left. You probably only have 3 of the guests you had, as it seems to be encroaching on just past 9 at this point. What are you doing? And is there anything you'd like to get done over the party?
So
Anything
without-
you'd like anyone or anything you'd like to do or talk to?
Well, throughout the opportunity, Gron wants to try to get to know like how they came across the kids, because they don't all look the same. They don't look like that. Like, I don't see resemblances and stuff like that. So
So who are you asking?
Sorry. Well, there's
Which
2
of them?
guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll ask the one that, like, after everything that he seemed like the most willing to buy into what we were trying to sell, because the one dude was angry and she was mistrusting, but the main leader dude, he seemed like, oh, it's great. So
you're going
I'll
to
go him.
Oscar?
Yeah.
Walk up to him.
Yep.
Beautiful, isn't she? This is Melissa plays.
Phenomenal. I would hope I could ever play an instrument such like that.
I wish I was half as talented as she was when it comes to performance. Honestly, she really deserves to be on a stage somewhere else in one of the major cities. That'd actually be nice.
Well, there's nothing saying that you couldn't start here. There's always the opportunity for something new, for something fresh. So.
Yes.
How did the kids fit in all of that? They didn't really all look like each other, like all of you. Plus, you and the other fella. I mean, one of you's not with her, so.
Well, I guess I don't tend to advertise it too much. People like their mystery, but Melissa and I got married last year, actually. Happiest day of my life.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it. As for the children, we came across them at certain points. As far as I know, they're all orphans. We met the twins, Velvet and Coral. Actually met them in Sheer a bit ago. Must have been months past. They've attached to us quite quickly. As for the others, Carlos and Shiley, I actually met Shiley on the road. She'd been wandering wherever her home was. Best I understand from what we've gotten from her, parents were attacked by Grimm. Never able to find them. But we weren't just going to leave her. Not in the woods, not on the paths on her own. She didn't deserve this happening to her. As for Carlos, I met him in Coral. Smart kid. An orphan his whole life, as far as I'm aware. He ran from the orphanage there. He left my side. He's actually getting quite good at the magic tricks. Smart child. He looks over to you. I noticed you brought Rusty.
I hear the pride in your voice as you speak.
Have I?
Oh, you know.
Yes, I've noted, Mr.
Yeah, you know her.
Hard not to when you have your ear to the ground, it's catch wind of what's going on in a place. Sorry, I interrupted you. What was that about the kids?
So you can tell you care for them, and that's his it's a noble thing. I don't know if it looks like they're actually getting tuckered out. If you're willing to stay, I'd love to see if the lady would play. If she would join me in a performance together to celebrate for my friend Cedar. It looks like everyone else is about ready to go, and I was going to dismiss them anyway. The only one who's really close to any of us is Rusty. So I mean, she'd be here, but the most of the rest are just the few people that we've met along. We haven't been in town very long, so. But yeah, I mean, they're welcome to, to nap out there, with the pillows and such. So it's fine. But I understand if you'd rather get them to bed or whatever. But even so, to at least settle up payment once they're departed.
He seems to be looking off to the side as you say this. Yeah. So she'd be happy to play with you. As he stands up, I believe we have time for one more song before we end for the night. At the request of the party patron himself, Garand would like to play with Melissa one last time. And what are you going to be? What's your instrument of choice as she plays the flute?
So so far I think I still only have the two instruments, the lute and the violin. So I'm thinking that the violin would pair well with her flute, especially because I'm going to play a sad song that will sound like a lullaby to the kids, but to the adults and anybody that can pay attention to the lyrics, it's going to be a warning of the road taken.
I assume you're also singing then as you play the violin?
Yeah.
See, and you have a violin, right? Or do you just have a lute?
I mean, I purchased one.
Yes.
Ultimately, the performance thing is up to you.
You had a special violin made for you.
Yeah, you had me roll for it, which was neat. I really enjoyed that. I didn't roll great, but it was still neat.
If you rolled well, you would have gotten a +1 on all. It's not a masterwork violin. It's just a very good violin. Right, go ahead and make a single performance check. So those of you in the audience are able to listen to this. As some of the party goers seem to be making their way out as you play. As what perhaps for the rest of you may be the prettiest performance Garand has. As you hear the strings touch your hearts in a way that you haven't really felt before. Largely jovial. You haven't really listened to Garand play and sing a very sad song. The lyrics passing over the children seemingly almost piling themselves up against one of the barrels, cuddling together as you see what appears to be the twins of Velvet and Coral, the two humans, with Shyly being what appears to, if I remember correctly, a elf, the little elf girl, and the scaled, similar to Garand, Faunus boy, seemingly holding the other two. We'll hear the music play. And as the song ends, the last two patrons, random visitors you'd have their way out. And I guess, just to make sure, was there anything else anyone wanted to do during the party that you didn't do before we continue on? Any conversations to be had? Not then we'll...
I don't think so.
As the performance ends, all of you are the ones left. Rusty stepping up from the kids after she lays a large blanket on. Melissa steps past toward you, Garand, and you feel a grip on your shoulder. As only 4 or 5 inches shorter than you, fairly tall, honest, her ears peeked back, the large, almost rabbit-like cat ears. I'm sorry, not rabbit, not cat, fox ears. He looks you in the eye. See a stern look. Don't. Do not hurt them.
Rusty is saying...
No, this is Melissa. The one.
Okay.
Not hurt them.
All right. For a second there, I was confused. I thought you were saying like Rusty was telling me not to do this after all. Okay, sorry.
As she steps by you, as you pull your violin down. Not hurt them. I will personally. Pushes off from you, walks down the steps, off from the. Seemingly having some idea of what's.
He's like, he just. Very, very, like, resigned. Now, I have no intentions of doing so. In fact, the only reason why Rusty is here...
Are you saying this to the group? Because she immediately pushed off and walked away from you.
Yeah, oh yeah, no.
As you look down to the other man.
No, because I want her to, quickly, hopefully, learn that we don't want to harm them. The whole point is that we're trying not to. We're trying to help them. Now, this is Lord of the Rings. He's like, I'm not trying to rob you. I'm trying to help you.
As you move down to the others talking, as you walk off the stage toward this light circle almost of people gathering. Continue. The reason Rusty's here.
Even Rusty. Yes, she is our support. She is the one that would like to help you as we would. What we have learned is that you care deeply for these children. You are a sort of family, the 7 of you. And I do not want to break up your family, but I do want you, and especially them, to learn that crime does not pay. So we have
Carland is
arranged this
daggers at Oscar.
We have arranged this true but also false birthday party in order to let you know that we have no intent to harm you. We have no intent to separate you. We even have no intent to imprison you. Our suggestion is that you effectively turn yourselves in undercover, sort of. You work back for the city on behalf of Rusty as she sees fit to effectively pay off your debt. We will not accept the reward, and instead the reward will go to anyone who filed a claim against you or the children for anything taken from them. It will be a reimbursement. You will then work off the price of that reward money, plus a little extra, in order to learn your lesson. We want to keep your family together. We do not want trouble for you. And I love the idea of a future where Melissa gets to play on her own stage. But that cannot happen while you're teaching children to steal. I hope that you will take this opportunity well, and that you'll see it for what it really is. Or we can turn you in and get that money right now.
Roll an insight check, Garand.
I'm good at that, lols.
Not bad. They're not very well veiled. See on Oscar's face a look of guilt. On Melissa's, you see a surprising look of relief. And on Carlos, a mixture of anger and something else you can't quite.
Well, if there's any chance that Thicket's paying attention, maybe he'll know.
Would Thicket like to make insight check? Uh-oh, Maury's muted. Hello?
I mean, Abby could do it. Cedar.
Sure. Does Cedar want to insight these people?
Sorry.
Sure.
Yes, he will.
Oh, okay, there you go.
I was in the bathroom.
Ah,
Like the worst time to try and sneak
this
in
is
the
why you
bathroom
just
break.
say, I'll be right back. Don't
I
sneak it,
tried
just
You
put
guys
it in
were
the
having a
store.
moment.
Fair. We were having a moment.
There we go.
Insight.
Cedar, you see, there is, both of you actually would be able to see a little bit of an anger, hidden beneath Melissa's, relief. An odd bit of hope as well. With Harland, see under his anger, a sadness and a similar guilt that is very obvious on Oscar. Melissa steps forward. Fine. He looks at Oscar. This did go too far. Looks over to Carland. Anything to keep us together. He closed an eye, seems to grimace for a moment. Fine. Still don't think we should have come tonight. We should have left, but fine. Is that a deal then? Are we indentured servants? He looks over to Rusty. Rusty looks up, thinks. Spoken to the children. I know I can seem callous at times, but kids are not unhappy. As Lord, yes. If it is amicable to all parties, I will approve of this judgment put forth by Garand to quietly as we can make restitution to those who are wronged. You'll need to return things stolen that you have. And work off a reasonable debt I have no desire to keep children locked up. Honestly, even if we'd taken you the hard way, I would have put them in the orphanage. Need to be taught the right lessons. But how to actually make money. Theft is not how to do it. She runs her hand through her hair. It will be difficult to explain all of my decisions to those who have some level of power in the city. But I believe if all parties agree, this is the most reasonable course of action we can take to preserve the family. Cliche as that sounds. I would also like to, if you haven't already, draft official documents marking who you are, as well as your adoption of these children. If I ever cross each find out from any lord, anyone at any point, put any of these children in harm's way, the whole force of Schist will bear down on you. And she looks to Garand, then to the others of the messengers. I think I have on good authority that I could call in a favor, have these lot come out for you.
While it wouldn't be fun, it would certainly be done.
Good. Looks to the three adults of the troop. Do we have a deal? The three of them, I've rolled wisdom checks for them to make the most reasonable, or not. Two of them have actually rolled quite well. They've all been rolling really well this entire really.
Yay!
Fine. You have a deal. Walks over. I solemnly swear I'll not leave the city until this is done. And see, reaches up around his neck, pulls out a necklace. You see a fairly simple silver necklace with an emerald embedded in the front, and he tries to place it in Rusty's hand. This was given to me by my mother, and I would not leave without it. You can hold on to this until it's all done. She nods. Oh. Any of you have anything to add? He looks to the group. After all, this is what? No mercies you've persuaded me to in the same amount of days? Oh no, there were a couple of days.
Honestly, since they handled it as well as I had hoped, and after having spoken with Oscar a moment, I would like to encourage them to continue to perform, but to do so in a better way. And if I hear good things, I would like to perhaps fund a future stage where Melissa can perform properly.
Well, we have lots of travelers coming through.
Speaking of
always-
performances, we should probably sing happy birthday to Cedar.
Thank you.
I thought that was Melissa's
No?
happy memory song.
It was
okay,
good.
my
It wasn't
bad.
really happy
My
birthday.
bad, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
it
it
was-
was great. It just made me want to cry. I miss
I've
my
been-
family.
Sorry, I've been told my music can have that effect on people.
You're very talented.
Thank you.
You are very talented.
I've been playing all my life. As you see her foxtail, as you're saying this, very rapidly moves back and forth, waving around. She seems proud of herself.
You guys ever watch the Bad Guys cartoon movie on Netflix?
No.
Yeah.
I'm trying to lean into the fact that
Well,
faunus
all right, well-
have additional emotive outlets that normal humans don't. Ah. Well, Rusty says, I, as she pulls on the vest, would kind of like to get out of this in more comfortable clothing. Ah. Are we planning to hang out for the rest of the night? Is this party something that's going to go on a long time, or are we actually ending here?
No, I think we should definitely sing to Cedar, and then
Oh, yes.
however you want to handle this all out. So
Okay, so
I'll
we
just
should
take-
do a toast.
follow your lead.
a toast.
Oh,
We
I
should
love
toast.
toast. Bread,
We should toast to
heated
Cedar
up,
and new
amazing.
beginnings.
Thicket gets really
Birthdays and
excited
new
about
beginnings.
toast.
So birthdays
Yes.
and new beginnings.
Toast.
Birthdays and new
Wait.
Where's
Toast,
the
toast,
bread?
toast.
Where is the bread?
No. Gambit runs and gets cups for everybody, and it's like, Cedar,
Cedar is so confused.
Cedar, listen. Yes, Cedar. Well, this is a different type of toast. This is a toast where we use milk. So could you go around and into everyone's glass, pour them a little bit of milk?
Why
I
would
guess
you make
since I have
toast
an
with
English
milk?
amount of milk.
Yes. Would you spare us poor peasants, milkless peasants, each like a tablespoon or two of your milk, dear Cedar milkstress?
You know what? We are celebrating today. I think I shall
Mhm.
give everyone a full cup.
You are so generous. Wow.
How do we turn this into toast?
For real.
Okay, it's alright. Just follow our lead. Grunt, I've never made a toast before. Do you want to do it? I can try. It was really bad. We didn't really have.
Rusty leans over.
toast
I
and-
really think Gambit should do this.
Okay. Does everyone have milk now?
As you see a slightly evil grin on Rusty's face.
Oh
Wicked
no.
and Cedar are very confused.
Okay. So a toast is where, so you know how sometimes when you drink
Sorry,
tea,
could I,
you.
Melissa steps forward. Can I get some more milk? I may have already drank all of mine.
I don't blame you. It's delicious. And Cedar pours them another glass.
Cedar thicket. This is what a toast is. So we're all going to raise. I'm going to say a few, spout a few good words about the future and how much we love our dear Cedar, and then we're all going to raise our glasses and then drink all together, and it's going to be a celebration of the future.
But there's no bread?
Where does
There's
the toast
actually
come
no
in?
bread. I'm so sorry. I don't know why it's called a toast. It's more like communion.
What's communion?
It's the Cedar version of communion.
Communion doesn't exist.
We're
Communion
inventing
is a-
communion.
Communion is
Oh,
a
right.
distinctly
Okay.
Christian thing, and this world doesn't have that.
Milk Jesus.
It does now. It has a milk version of communion.
Jesus. All right.
Peter, cleric of the milk god.
I am the cleric of the milk.
All right. So
Well, I guess I'm
a
adding
toast-
milk to Sylvana's portfolio now.
A toast to our dear friend Cedar, who we love as much as she loves milk. And to our new friends and their future, does not involve prison and thievery. And may their lives be filled with laughter and music.
And milk.
And milk. And I raise my glass of milk and then I drink it, and I hope everyone does the same.
Pickett holds his
NPCs
glass
will.
above his head.
I can imagine
for like
all
5
these
seconds
random
and then
people.
drinks it.
I can imagine all these random people we've picked up off the street is like, I think this person has an addiction.
No, not all the randos have already left. It's just the Gauls group, Rusty,
Oh,
and
okay.
the Ferrywell.
Even so, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure they're looking at you like.
I'm sure our new folks are like, excuse me. I think we need to have an intervention.
Rusty leans over to Garand, and I thought I liked milk.
Imagine Cedar
know,
meeting
two
someone
wiggles for
lactose
ears.
intolerant.
Oh, that'd be awful.
Thank you so much for celebrating milk with me.
Wait, I thought it was your
Oh.
birthday.
I
Also your
guess.
birthday.
song. Birthday song.
Okay, so I don't know that trying to sing happy birthday on stream is a good idea if that's what you're trying to go for, Maury.
We can just say we sing the birthday
We
song.
sing the in-world birthday song.
Happy birthday, Cedar!
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy
Happy birthday, Raven!
I can't swim.
Thank you.
How old are you?
Cedar, how old are you now that it's your birthday?
I am now 18. Actually.
What?
Yeah.
As Melissa to you? The child?
DM is shook.
Why are you surprised?
No, the
She
DM's
was
not. It's...
17 and then she had a birthday. So
Oh, yeah.
now she's 18.
I'll edit the sheet, but I'm not surprised. I knew this, but
Oh.
it seems Melissa and Oscar both are wide-eyed. Like, what? This is a child?
This is a child that's obsessed with milk and could take down any living soul.
All right. Assuming. What else? Let's not assume anything. What else would you like to do for the night? Are you going to? Rusty will talk with the Ferrywell Troop and effectively tell them to head home, head back to their
Can we
stay,
dance?
place of stay for the night.
Can we dance?
I'll dance with you, Cedar.
Thanks, Thicket.
You can dance
So-
if you want to. You can leave the troop behind.
Because if they
Frank,
don't,
either
But if
you
Thicket
don't
don't
need
dance, then Thicket
permission
won't
to
dance
dance.
because Thicket's no friend of mine.
Melissa will begin to play.
is she gonna play something happy or am
Yes,
I gonna
she
cry
is
again?
going to play something happy.
Okay.
Something happy and peppy. So I guess that's the question of who's dancing.
Insert EDM music.
Everyone.
But via flute.
Give it, Stancy.
Okay, so who all is dancing and who all is dancing with someone?
I'm going to play a fast, upbeat violin song. It will sound lively, and there will be much hooting and hollering. It's going to feel like a country western bar in here.
Yes, exactly as it should. with
As
Peter's-
you do, Melissa's actually going to stop after a couple of bars and begin dancing with her husband.
Aw.
Guron gets extra into it then. He's like, yeah, family.
Ron turns into Lindsay Sterling.
You spend the next while dancing, tiring yourselves out. Gorond and Melissa taking turns playing music, sometimes playing together, various songs, enjoying yourself. How long does this party go on?
Hello?
How long
Hi.
does
Is
this...
everybody still here?
Are you alive?
Mhm.
Like,
Did something happen? Did I mute? Did I disappear?
I guess he's not.
Oh heck.
Oh no.
But
Anarchy.
I'm dead.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Am I
Hello.
back?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because connected to y'all, it looks like stream may have gone down.
Ooh.
It
Oopsie
says
daisy.
it disconnected and is trying to reconnect. I think the recording is still going.
That's
There it is.
confusing.
What was the last thing you heard me say?
We hooted and hollered a little too hard and broke stream.
Y'all were dancing. So y'all were dancing. I guess
Yes.
we'll just. I mean, it's connected to y'all, and it says it's still recording. So I guess we'll continue. Oh, that stream should be back. Hello, stream. Don't worry, nothing happened. We're all still here.
I think you were describing what the scene looks like as everyone's dancing.
Everyone is dancing, enjoying themselves. At some points, Melissa takes over the music. Melissa and Garan continue to play together at some points. Garland seems to be relaxing from the knot he'd gotten in his back when they'd all been confronted. How long does the party go on?
I think I just wanted
Wait,
to
awful
make
laugh.
sure we got in the birthday song for Cedar.
Mm-hmm.
So, what, 30 minutes more to 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock? How late y'all going?
I don't want to keep the kids out too late.
Oh yeah, I forgot there were kids here.
They're
Yeah,
already
well-
sleeping in a pile on each other at the barrel. But, you know, whether or not you're going to end
Yeah.
up getting them to move back to their tent.
Let's try to wrap it up by like 10:45, 11, so that, you know,
I'll move the clock
If
ahead
there's-
to 11 o'clock then.
if there's any danger afoot, then we don't have to worry about those kids being, you know, possibly falling victim to it for some reason. Don't forget, there's still a huge like drug cartel here. So
It's true, there is a drug cartel in this town. Y'all are not necessarily in the
all
nice
milk?
part of... Y'all are not really in the nice part of city at the moment. And it's 11 o'clock. Rusty seems to talk to them for a minute. Effectively giving them the lowdown of like, okay, you go back, relax in your own place for the night, and come to Dovrishi Courier the next morning and get squared away on what exactly is going to happen, how things are going to be done. Looks back to the rest of you. That handles that for them. Well, what are the rest of you up to, messenger?
I got flowers.
I mean, it
I
seems like a good time to nightcap. I was just gonna say, like, we could like now are we still ready to leave in the morning now that we got this all settled? And
You're all leaving in the morning?
that was part of the
Yeah.
plan.
Where are you heading off to?
I don't think we know.
Oh,
Do we
Well,
know
there was
yet?
like
Did we decide?
there were
y'all
some
came up
options,
with a
but
plan.
the idea was that we didn't feel. I thought we had several options. I didn't think we had it concrete, which is why I thought we could talk this out now. But
I'll go ahead and throw out the vacuum map.
because
I don't-
it was kind of decided that we didn't think we could
Town.
take on the drug cartel yet.
yeah.
After a successful birthday party, we level up to level 12.
No, definitely not. I mean, if I leveled up to level 12, I would stop doing XP, and just go milestone with that. And then I would also forcibly make every encounter harder. So what y'all kind of ended up seemingly landing on was you wanted to take a path in the direction of of like heading up towards here is what it sounded like via the town into. Rusty's poking her head in the conversation because she wants to. So, where are you heading? That you don't think you can deal with the... I understand. The cartel's been a thorn in my side for a while.
You do want to take care of them, Rusty, but unfortunately, it might be a little bit more than we can handle at present. So, we're going to go investigate the thing with your former employee, or temporary
Ulrich, yes.
pseudo-employee,
Checking on
and
his sister?
find out, yes, because if she's in danger, then we want to rescue her, and if she's part of the problem, then we want to solve that problem.
I was planning on sending him that way tomorrow. We'd given time, but unfortunately we weren't able to figure out if whoever it was that's blackmailing him knew of his sister or not. So we were planning to send him with one of our employees actually up towards Sheer. Hopefully being able to go by way of Feldspar and then to there. But potentially through Miles as well.
They are welcome to join us. I mean, you know, more company means safety in numbers and all.
I thought that'd be good if you were heading that way.
I don't, as long as nobody else has a problem with that, but I mean, I think that he has a particular reason to want to make sure that we are safe, because he's going to want to find out, you know, what the situation is with his sister. So I feel like it's the perfect opportunity for him to be trustworthy, if that makes sense.
Well, messengers?
Sounds good to me.
Sure thing.
All right. It's been wonderful having you here. I understand as she looks to you. I came off a bit rough. I have a very... How has this been told to me before? Transactive mind. Think of things in deals. That's how my brain works. Part of the reason why I'm the merchant lord. So sorry if I came off a bit rough. Alice, you all. I appreciated having you in town for a bit. And you all owe me one.
Yep, we sure do. I think we owe you. Yeah, we owe you one.
Why?
For not once, but twice, providing abnormal judgments on crimes and going with your offers, your plans.
That's not your job.
Well,
Right.
I mean, to be fair, Thicket, her job is to honestly just punish them. So they're not. That's not typical what she's doing.
Thicket, I would like for you to make a persuasion check.
Persuasion. 15.
Good, and let's see how she rolls. She did not get a natural one, so she rolled good. Huh. Topsy Garand. Thicket. You dislike the way I talk?
Yes.
What do you dislike about it?
You're not very straightforward.
I see. Would you prefer if I was?
Yes.
Well. She wipes her hair back, and you see her ears move off to the side, and her tail straightens out a bit, seemingly slightly uncomfortable. I guess I can be brutally honest for once, then. I owe it to you. I find you all endearing. Hopefully, I can use this favor as an excuse to work with you again.
You could just ask.
This is true. But, like I said, my mind works in transactions. I like a guarantee.
I guess I can understand that.
Yes, she leans down as you are shorter than her. My apologies, again, for being very obtuse.
I appreciate your apology.
You are welcome. Well, she stands up. I wish you all luck. Are you going to be walking me home as well, Garand, or am I heading down the street on my own?
No, it would be ungentlemanly of me to invite you and then leave you. That's absolutely
You're right.
unforgivable.
Been nice seeing you, messengers.
I'll see the rest of you back at the inn.
Ticket waves.
She will wave back and give a smile.
What about the out?
The what?
I'll see us at the end, but what about the out?
Oh.
The gears continue to grind in Cedar's head. Not understanding the way people speak. Even more so, perhaps, than Thicket does.
I think the out is in the morning after the in.
If you say so.
The rest of you, are you going to do anything, or are you just going to head back toward the inn? I take that as yes. The rest of you head back. Ron, you walk. Barely getting a block or two before Rusty speaks up. You're quite a bit for those 5, don't you?
Some more than others, but yes, all of them have great value to me.
Oh,
I'm particularly partial to both Thicket and Gambit. I like Cedar, but it's hard to read her, so... And then Doug has a strange manner of speaking, and I'm pretty sure that Maverick's just waiting for an opportunity to take everything that we have. But he also tries to protect us, so it's a very strange thing. But, you know, how often do you see a kobold adventurer anyway?
not terribly often. I'd give him the benefit of the doubt. It's rare to see a kobold that isn't following an allegiance to a dragon. Even the queen. You talk a lot. You know that, right?
I do, it's true. I do.
You...
I am not bothered by it.
Neither am I.
Are you? I'm so sorry.
I'm not bothered by it, actually. I like to listen. Tell me more about your family, where you're from, messengers, anything, really.
Well, I have recently learned that my dear uncle, whom I hope to go to for training and assistance in possibly recovering my father and mother, happens to be the lord of another city. So,
Which city?
and this is Christopher not remembering. I apologize. It's been a while. Was it
It's
Lahar?
Lahar, yes.
Okay, cool. I really was like, man, I'm like 80% sure, but man, I'm not 100. So, all right. Well, my last name is Evenstar. He is the Lord of Lahar.
Ah, Gorman. Yeah? It's an interesting one. He always talks in a very grandiose way, in my experience. Ah, it's You should see our conversation.
Could be where I got it.
My quite pragmatic view versus his very grandiose. But goods they have there at Lahar are quite with transporting. So I've met him a few times, mostly between myself, him, and Eisen, to maintain the safety of at least most of the merchant ships traveling through the Southern Sea.
Well, if it helps, my ship was wrecked at the sea that is not between here and Lahar, so that
You weren't a shipwreck.
may make you feel better. Oh, indeed, I was the only survivor.
I can't imagine
as far as
it's
I know.
easy on you.
Oh, I mean, no. It's been strange. Trying to count on relationships when you've seen your closest ones fall apart. Yes, it's made things very difficult. So, and then I found out that my uncle would like to use me to make some sort of power play or claim to a larger scope, I guess, in that grandiose way that you were speaking.
He never seemed terribly power hungry to me, but my readings aren't perfect.
Well, maybe the other person misread him. I'm still not convinced. Perhaps someone else might be able to give me another insight. There's
Maybe you should just meet him.
Saying, no matter how many. Yes, and if that other person is correct, then I cannot, in good conscience, if he is as the other person says, and he puts me in the position to choose between my parents or my friends, that is not a place I want to be. So
No,
I will try to make my own way, and we will see. Perhaps I will learn of other information. There's a saying that says no matter how many times you read a book, it's always different, and the best books change the most. Effectively, something like this. The more information you have, the better. So.
I can agree with that. I quite like information. Wonderful to have.
Yeah, it's and it's interesting because both Thicket and Gambit have really good ways of getting information. That's very different from how I would get it, but I count on them. I do.
How do you get information out of people?
I read a room. I look for the commonality, and then I play accordingly. And then once I have earned their favor and trust because I play something that they love or that they know connects to them in a deeper and real way, then before you know it, that they're buying me ale and share a meal with me and all that, and it's a very useful tactic to get to the local heart of things. In fact, it's one of the ways that I want to learn how I can best help you with this evasive and pernicious drug problem.
I'll appreciate the help when that comes. And I imagine it would be quite useful to be everyone's favorite buddy.
It's always nice to get a free drink.
I imagine so. I'm more of a whiskey girl myself.
Without having to take it from someone else, by the way.
Oh. As you come up upon her house, she looks to you. You trust me?
I'd like to, and I believe that you are trustworthy, but unfortunately, I'm seeing a lot of moving pieces that I did not anticipate. Did you know that when I first met them, they decided the best course of action was to liberate, not not free or capture or turn in or kill, liberate a tribe of kobolds. In fact, Maverick was one who was out scouting or robbing or some such shenanigans, and then came back and found out about what had happened, and he decided that he had to join us and follow along. I've never heard of that in my entire life. I can't imagine what goes through a person's mind that thinks, I'm going to spare a kobold. No, I'm not just going to spare a kobold, I'm going to liberate the entire community of them. And it took me quite by surprise. And honestly, it made me not sure that I wanted to associate with them. And then when I did find out that I did want to associate with them, then I had to find out whether or not I was a danger. Because suddenly, one who was with us died in the freeing and liberation of those same kobolds. So, I thought maybe I was cursed. My father, my mother, and the shipwreck, and then this poor fellow.
What happened to your father and your mother?
It was... Well, my father decided to take it upon himself to rid us of the creatures that he believed were hunting my mother for her magic, and then he went missing. Well, in reality, turns out that his hunting party left him because of his other errors, which include me. So my mother and I left. We were going to go to my uncle's and hopefully learn my magic, and she and I were going to see about trying to find him, restore him, recover him, whatever. And then there was a shipwreck and the great storm. I thought I would surely drown, but no, this mighty, powerful creature that informed me that it was a storm phoenix, surprising creature, offered me a way out to be of service, and he has not requested anything of me as of yet, but I've been rather far away from the ocean until now, so I don't know what that means, and hopefully it will not be anything I will regret, because I will likely lose my life fighting against something dangerous or harmful to others or something. So we'll see. Not excited about it, but
Very sad story, Gohan. And yet you try so hard to make sure everyone else is treated well.
I may not be able to control everything, but I might be able to control some things. So I shall certainly try.
I do hope you succeed. You deserve it. If your mother's still alive, I hope you get to see her. Father as well. For your sake they are. It'd be a shame for them to be taken from you, and for them to be robbed of time with... What an interesting son they have.
I am honored by your words.
Rond,
And hopefully I can live up to them.
I would like you. Well, let me put it this way. As you're looking into her eyes, presumably as you talk, you've at this point stopped walking or at her house, so near her front porch. You see a flash of pink in her pupils. And I would like you to make a charisma saving throw. If you would like to choose to fail, you can. or you can attempt it. Your choice.
I don't think that Garon would have any reason to not want to resist yet. Maybe
Alright.
someday he might, but
Make a charisma saving throw. Goodness. Okay.
that's pretty low. That's
Failed. What is Garon's current greatest desire? In this moment, it's his greatest desire. It can be something abstract, something specific.
Okay, if his father and or mother were alive, that they would know that he's looking for them, that he is also alive.
Rusty smiles. I'm sure they know. Somehow. Have a good night, Garand.
Sure, what? Huh? Right. Okay. Good night.
He smiles.
I'm assuming that I don't know necessarily that something happened.
No, you don't.
Is that accurate?
The only thing you would have seen is a small
Okay.
flash of pink in her pupils. But if you didn't connect that to anything,
Okay. All right.
then
Okay. All right.
step inside.
Right. It's Good night, Rusty. I guess in the morning, just send word or whatever, and we will take your employees.
Sure, come to the couriers, and I'll make sure he's around. See
All right. See you in the morning.
you in the
Then.
morning, Garand.
Good night. And he bows, and then about face.
He will smile.
Walks on back to the inn.
Sure. Is anyone else doing anything? Are y'all doing anything for the night?
I imagine while this is going on, Gambit, Thicket, and Cedar are still dancing, even though there might not be any music anymore, and drinking milk.
You are
Thicket
dancing.
tries to make toast because
Precisely.
he's stuck on it now.
You are dancing your way back to the inn. All right.
Or the out.
For a long rest of the party, is there anything any of you would like to?
Making toast.
Yeah, toast.
We talked about toast and we never got toast. So Thicket wants toast.
Okay. So, what's the best bread procurement check? I guess investigation to see if you can find some bread at the inn or something, or in your rations, and then you can probably toast it with fregatito.
Yes. Not 20.
Not 20.
Give me the
You
toast.
find a whole heckin' loaf of bread, pre-cut,
Cedar,
ready for
we
toast.
can make toast.
Oh.
Garand returns to see a room of toast and drunken power and toast and milk thicket.
Grand, we made toast.
They're all food coming out. Oh, they got the itis, and I'm like, oh no, I've got to carry them all to bed now.
All right, I will go ahead and long rest the party. Unless there's anything Garon wants to do.
No.
Right. Badunk. Over the night, Cedar,
Yes.
you find yourself standing in the woods.
I thought I went to bed.
Damp and cold.
I'm genuinely confused. I
It's
thought
a
we
dream.
went to bed. Oh.
Find yourself.
Okay.
You find yourself standing in the woods. Cold. the wind
Okay.
rushing by. Of a familiar scent.
Milk?
The swamp. The swamps near Moraine visited a couple of times. Never really going into. Being warned of monsters. Of grim. Of creatures that will steal and eat soul.
Oh.
And find yourself walking, but with each step, seem to almost teleport 100 feet, 200, snapping from tree to tree. Find yourself standing not among woods anymore, but in the middle of a village. Not one that you've ever seen. Huts made of various bits of cloth and this large hut in front of you on the opposite end of what appears to be some kind of altar. Realize you're standing on stone steps of this raised platform. Across from you, down the other side, this large tent. Barely see in the inside the flickers of flame and movement. Something lurching. Hear the sounds of other creatures that around you as you look around. Can't ever bring yourself to focus on them. Drifting just out of your sight every time you turn as you look back to the altar. This stone. Cracked in several places. Very old. Various markings of Sylvanas, each of which have a crack running straight through, almost intentional. And laying across the altar are various bones, humanoid creatures. Some crushed, some whole. As you sense something very evil. But as you step and try to move toward the tent to find what the lurching creature, the humanoid, that as you see at the last second, you see these long strands of hair hanging down from this sickly green hand, stretched skin upon the bone, looking out from between the cloth, the curtains, toward you. You wake up, staring at the ceiling for a moment, realizing that what you experienced was a dream, one unlike any you've ever had before. I assume you return to bed,
Yes.
perhaps drinking a glass of milk to calm your nerves.
Yes.
You all wake up the next morning, begin to prepare yourselves. Going to pick up the man you saved from a potentially worse fate, from whatever imprisonment he might have had. You gather him, gather yourselves, and begin the trek to, perhaps, save his sister. And that is where we'll end.
Ooh.
Don't worry, we'll
Yay,
cover if
we
y'all
did
want to do anything before you leave the next morning if you'd like. But session for tonight, that will be it. Nice job.
We threw a successful birthday party.
You did. You threw a successful birthday party / intervention.
Slash entrapment.
/ entrapment. There was a little bit of entrapment considering their options were do this, go to jail. Oop, there's your XP for the time. You each get 200 experience points.
Yeah.
Just a bit closer. You are roughly 1,000 from level 5 for most of you.
You get toast XP.
That's with the extra 200 and not just 1,000 for Misfit Toys Part 2. No, you don't get any toast XP.
Is there any bonus for overcoming that combat without having a combat?
Be honest, you probably weren't going to combat there. Statistically, the only one of them who isn't a commoner is Melissa. So
Ooh, fancy.
the rest of them are like commoners with proficiency in their various performance skills and a couple of points up and down in different stats. Melissa gets a bit more because her magic is slightly more than just normal. She might also be a but yeah. Doug probably could have knocked most. So it was more so the battle was one of morality and not of physical might. Because I think subplots that can only be solved by combat or are intended to be solved by combat are... They have their place, but not all encounters need to.
Because that's how you create murder hobos.
It is how you create murder hobos. Technically, y'all could, like, the only way that would, like, their sub-thing, like, quest, quote-unquote, would have turned out in violence is if y'all tried to catch them the moment you saw them after knowing there was a warrant, and then there would have been probably a chase scene and then maybe an investigation to find them if they escape. Mechanically, they're not terribly strong. But great job. I enjoyed. Good job. Good on them for rolling so that y'all didn't have to knock out Garland. I hope I pulled the heartstrings.
They had sense.
They did have sense. I hope I was able to pull at your heartstrings a little bit. Get you emotionally involved.
It was lovely.
Oh, glad you enjoyed it. I guess we'll go ahead and end the VOD for the moment at least. Sorry for the shorter session, YouTube, I suppose. And we pick up hopefully in 2 weeks, potentially in 3 because we'll be out of town. Thank you so much for coming and watching, YouTube. You'll have a goodbye, YouTube.
Goodbye, YouTube.
So long.